So, with about 2 minutes past the hour, let's get going. Um, I'm Will. We also have Emily. Um,
Good
Hi,
morning.
everybody. I'm an associate at Paul Weiss, where I do executive compensation. I've been volunteering with the ABA tax section for a long while now. And Emily, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am an associate or assistant clinical professor and associate director of the Georgia State College of Law Low Income Taxpayer Clinic. And I have been involved with this problem. I did the JD problem last year and a timing round the year before. So it's a great experience, and we're glad you're here to learn more about it.
Yeah, I've drafted 3 problems over the last like 8 years, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, I'm sure you're here because you're interested in volunteering and getting more involved in the ABA, and we love that. This is a great opportunity as a young lawyer to come in and take on some substantive work and show your mettle. So we would love to have you. Um, the if you're not familiar with the tax challenge, it's pretty straightforward. I call it like the equivalent of a tax moot court. The ABA puts together a problem for the students. They have a couple months during the school year to draft a written answer to the problem, and it's in the style of like a law firm memo to the partner, and then a short client letter explaining it in plain English. And then in the background, we collectively grade all of these oral round submissions. And the best, the ones who win the oral round are then invited to come to the mid-year meeting. This year it will be, I think, in San Diego in January, to argue their position in an oral round to a group of tax court judges and seasoned practitioners who can kind of pick apart their argument and see how they do under the pressure of real life. And then the winners of that go on to be the tax challenge winners for that year. So it's a cool experience. Tax does not always lend itself to a moot court format or other experiential education format. And so this is a way to do it, and students like it. So for the past few years, or so along the way, we've taken a tack towards doing problems based on kind of prestige television. And this kind of makes it fun. We get to take a TV show. We've done Game of Thrones and Westworld, and last year was The Bear, and take kind of issues that popped up on the show, and try to examine them through a tax angle and force students to think about, oh, like taxes is everything. Side note, when I worked at IRS Chief Counsel, I would train my honor students and open up with taxes literally everything, and it's like the opening banner to episode 1 of Star Wars is like trade routes are in disputes, taxation is driving the galaxy into nonsense. So but yeah, so it's a chance to have a little fun, get students excited, think about things in a way they probably weren't thinking before, and kind of leave your mark and start thinking. I think it's also a really good experience if you're interested in teaching down the line, to get some experience with like thinking about how to make students get to the answer you want them to get to examine the tax issues that you want to. I know I've done some adjunct teaching, and Emily's literally a professor now, so it does help. So that brings us to how you can help. And I have done 2 things that I think will make it easier to understand what role you can play. Is it possible for me to share something on the screen, Haley or Genevieve?
Yes, it should be.
Uh, I'm gonna request it now. All right. Sorry about that. So I put together this little timeline of events. I guess I should have done an Excel to get that full screen, but good enough. So right now, we are in the organizing and problem drafting phase. And we need some problem drafters and technical coordinators to put together the problem, to write it up. And this is a lot of technical ability. Like basically you take what you know and apply it into a fact pattern. and you make the tax work within it. So yeah, you get to be creative and you get to apply your fun tax nerd skills. And that'll be a process from now through August. And while it is certainly a bit of work, it is rewarding work, especially if you're willing to be here at 10 in the morning. I know you're a true tax nerd. So the drafters are the ones responsible for the substantive drafting, whereas the technical coordinators are there to like lend a hand, review, make sure we have subject matter experts to weigh in and make sure that everything is technically correct. Then we have the oral round judging chairs. We need someone to help coordinate all those people who are going to be grading the written round judging chairs. We need someone to help coordinate all the written round judges. And so that's a process that starts now, recruiting people, because the more people we have, the less work it is for everybody during the written round, and everybody likes doing less work, I assume. And then the marketing chairs start thinking about how are we going to promote this? Can we put together any marketing materials? And if there's people from the public who have questions, they can serve as a point of contact to them. So that's the summer. Come September, we release the problem very early in the semester and then try to gin up interest. So Emily and I will be in the background helping coordinate everything. The drafters will be working on the bench brief, which is basically the explanation to the written round judges and the oral round judges of all the issues in there in a way they can quickly understand it. The written round judging chairs will start organizing the written round judges to do this heavy lift in November. And the marketing chairs put forth their marketing strategy, and again serve as a public point of contact, excuse me. Come November to December, we get the grading. So the chairs, again, will coordinate in the background, but the written round judging chairs take over and get the written round judges to get all their work done, and they collate all of those grades and put it all together. The written round judges obviously spend some time judging, and the oral round judging chairs start thinking about who's going to be the judges. And you can start earlier than November, December, don't get me wrong, but that's when like we really need to start having it in motion. And then comes, last but not least, the oral round competition. The oral round judging chairs and the day of chairs basically are the boots on the ground, making sure this competition goes smoothly. And the oral round judges will judge, and the oral round timers will time. So this is very focused on being at the mid-year meeting in San Diego. Hopefully it's a nice reprieve from whatever cold climate you're in, and making sure the competition happens smoothly. So that's one way to think about it as the timeline. Alternatively, we have a nice little write-up of these positions, and we can share this with you. So if you're interested in any of these positions, I kind of broke it up into phases to say, we got our problem drafters to start. We need 4 of them, and you're going to put in a bunch of hours over the summer, making sure this is done, as well as some time in the fall, putting together the bench brief, but it's the most creative of all the positions. Then the technical coordinators, again, you're there to serve technical expertise, making sure all of your T is crossed, I is dotted, etc. Marketing chairs, you market. It's another creative position, especially if you like visual stuff. Then phase 2, our written round judging chairs coordinate the written round, our written round judges do the written round. And that's not as big a commitment, but it's still, there are some real hours there. Moving this phase 3, we've got our oral round judging chair, day of chair, oral round judges, and oral round timers. And this is fewer hours per person, but mostly you got to be at the mid-year meeting to get this done. So I hope that's a decent overview for all of you. Does anyone have any questions so far now that I've talked to you for 10 minutes straight? Was anyone here a previous participant who's like, this is awesome, I love doing it?
I did it last year.
And did you enjoy the bear?
I did. I haven't seen the show, so very spoiler alert. But it was a good time.
Well, when you have some time and you can watch The Bear, you'll now see all those tax issues we spotted for you. Ugh. And Jennifer, you're no longer a student, right? You did this. You're now practicing.
Yes, I'm now practicing.
Wonderful. Okay. So I hope one of these positions has interested you so far. It's not a competition. We want everyone to participate in whatever way they feel comfortable. And if we have too many people for a position, that's great. We'll make it work. But what we'll ask you to do is to please email Emily or me or both of us, ideally, to tell us what positions interest you. And feel free to tell us if you're like more than one or you're like a little reticent about doing something, that's okay. We want to know how you want to volunteer and make it work for you. We would also encourage you to talk to your friends, your associates at work, whoever else, and say, hey, there's this really cool opportunity. Do you want to help me do this? Again, it's sometimes a little daunting to volunteer with the ABA, where you have all these really experienced practitioners running panels and doing stuff. But this is a chance to get in on the ground floor with a committee, demonstrate your mettle, show you can take on the work, and step up so that the next time when they're thinking about you, when they're thinking about people for the next round of things, it's like, you've contributed here, you can demonstrate it.
And then I would just add, Will did a great job of breaking everything down, but I just wanted to say, I mean, the biggest need is the written round judges. And if that's something that sounds overwhelming to you because you're like, oh, how do I, judge the brief and things like that, it's not overwhelming. Admittedly, I haven't done it before, but I have graded my own exams. There's going to be a spreadsheet, and so they're going to put the information that you're expected to grade them on. So they really do make it easy to kind of walk through and see, okay, did they answer this? Did they have the case site? Do they have the code section? And so if it, again, feels like, oh, how could I do that? What if I don't know anything about the issue? There's going to be assistance in the grading spreadsheet. So it makes it very manageable.
We are not trying to make your lives difficult here. You will be well assisted along the way. Bench brief, that nice rubric. You'll do it a few times and go, I know this problem now. And just in case you don't see it, everyone, I dropped Emily and my email in the chat. Yeah, please, if you want, us to send you the position descriptions, let us know. I think they're also available online. But yeah, we would love to have you in any capacity that you want to volunteer. This only works because you guys are here, and we really do appreciate it. Any other questions for the day? I don't want to take up more time than I need to. Yes, Genevieve says if you are a professor in this chat, encourage your students to join. We would love to have them.